Yes. It all started when I was on my 6th year working on a District 75 special education school. I had it pretty good until I ended up in a 6 1-to-1 class. I was assigned a student with many issues. I was at the end of my rope and was contemplating leaving the school and also my profession. I had been struggling with this student for weeks. Every day seemed like a battle, as he refused to participate in class, would hit other students and staff, and seemed generally disinterested in anything we were doing. I was doing my best to follow the behavior plans that had been put in place, but nothing seemed to work. I felt like I was failing both the student and me. Then, one day, my wife told me about the technique of positive aspects as described by Abraham Hicks. At first, I was skeptical. How could focusing on positive things about this student possibly help when everything else seemed to be going wrong? But I decided to give it a try anyway. At first, it was very difficult to see the positive qualities in Joe when he was engaging in such disruptive behaviors. However, I decided to shift my focus to the positive aspects of Joe's life. I didn't know where to begin, so I noticed aspects of his physical appearance. The way Joe's mother took care of him, giving him a shower and washing his hair every day, putting cologne on him, and making sure his clothes were clean and pressed. I also observed that his nails were trimmed, and his teeth were cleaned. These positive aspects helped me to start to see Joe in a different light. The following week, I started to make a conscious effort to notice other positive things about Joe, even when he was exhibiting negative behaviors. I began to realize that despite his difficulties, he had some remarkable abilities. Positive qualities, I discovered other positive aspects of his personality. I realized that Joe was teachable and wanted to be helpful. Over time, my relationship with Joe improved dramatically. I began to see him as an individual with unique strengths and talents, rather than just a set of challenging behaviors to manage. I felt more patient and compassionate towards him, and he seemed to sense that. It wasn't always easy, there were still difficult days and setbacks, but overall, I felt like I had found a new way of approaching my work that was more positive and fulfilling. As I kept focusing more and more on these positive aspects of my student Joe, more amazing things kept happening. He seemed to respond to my positive attitude, and his behavior began to improve. He started participating more in class, and even began to help other students who were struggling with their work. I felt like I was seeing a completely different student. I continued to work with Joe during the summer and became his transportation paraprofessional. Although we moved on to different classes the following year, we saw each other often in the school. I formed a great affection for Joe, and now I welcome the opportunity to work with challenging students. Through my experience with Joe, I learned that focusing on the positive aspects of my students can help them develop a positive self-image, build their confidence, and feel more valued. I also found that by seeing the good in my students, I could develop a stronger connection with them and create a positive, productive learning environment. Now, I encourage other educators to adopt a positive mindset and focus on the positive aspects of their students' lives. By doing so, they can make a positive impact on their students' lives and help them reach their full potential. I believe that every student, no matter how challenging, has positive qualities that can be appreciated.